seminar going from John Orlett's group, and I promised I'd pass those out to him. So I have those for you guys tonight with your names on them. Don't leave without them. A couple things I want to say real quickly, and then I want to open it up to some of you. But first of all, there's nobody, in my opinion, that has been more supportive in college athletics of teaching the whole person, spiritually looking after our athletes, as well as competitively looking after them. And when I help Matt with recruiting and whatever, that's one of the things I'm so proud. There's no coach in the GSAC that does a better job. There's no coach that I know of where we as a ministry organization, MEI, would rather be than where we have the most supportive coach of this ministry, Coach George, to MEI. You've meant the world to us, and to me personally. And after 30 years of coaching, 17 of that being in wrestling, can you believe he tried to recruit me to wrestle? I always thought he was a smart guy. Anyway, but you know, Coach had always wanted to be involved in ministry, always has been involved in ministry, and that culminated. I'm so thankful in our last year of coaching together here, Coach, because you guys set the standard for ministry in Okinawa, and as a result, we're invited back to go. More importantly, you broke ground. You pioneered new ground for ministry, and so we're excited about that. One other thing, I was at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and I haven't changed all day, by the way, but I had an interesting story. We were talking to a couple of the city councilmen, and one of them said something about, I introduced myself as, from the Seahorse, Southern California Seahorse is our new name, and mentioned that we were going to be bringing a minor league soccer team to the community. And they said, oh, I've been involved with soccer over there, Biola, Coach Orr. I go, yeah. We used to coach together, and our sons played together. In fact, I'll never forget the time Coach Orr got the red card. I said, Ben, tell me more about this one. Yeah, just the only red card you ever got. And can you imagine your coach seeing the red card and watching him walk off that field? Took it back? Yeah, and I by that one.
Coach, you can't do that, I'll get fired.
Anyway, that was interesting to hear today. But, we go back 30 years, and it's been a joy all those 30 years. We've cried together, we've laughed together, we've griped together, we've encouraged each other, we've encouraged others together, we toured Japan together. But tonight, we've had some things going on behind the scenes, and I'd like to introduce Phil and Nicole Yovino at this time to make a special presentation. Nicole, you did a lot of work, but we'll let Phil. You can let her get out of that, Phil.
I'm just a representative here. Not that I'm up here better than anyone else or anything like that. But what we did realize about coaches is there's definitely a legacy, and that's what everybody's talking about, and that's what everybody's contributing to. That's what the seniors are telling you younger players about. And we wanted to honor that, and Coach, being the humble man he is, he just wanted to step aside and stuff, and we wanted to let people know. And we wanted to tell him how much we appreciate him and all that kind of thing. And so we put out letters to everybody that we could have a chance to do that to, and gave them an opportunity to send back kind of a scrapbook of what you've meant to people. And the letters are continually coming in. We didn't give them very much time in the busy day-to-day life, but we have got a lot. We put together a starting scrapbook here. There's about 30 plus in here, and it's still coming in. And my wife has put together pretty creatively and stuff, different things, some creative with the letters and things like that. Obviously, with the ones we continue to get, we're just going to give them to you. And you can do it. But it was a rare opportunity for me. Got to read stuff. I mean, there's some people in here that sent Chimes clips of when they got married, and little notes and pictures and different things like that. So if you get a chance to see some of these, some of them from way back, they wrestled with him and things like that. So if you get a chance, it's neat to look at the different things in here. But I have the opportunity, I guess, to present you with this scrapbook.
At this time, for just a few minutes before we make one final presentation, I'd like to open up the mic to some of you who might want to share a word or a memory or an embarrassing moment or a learning moment or a teaching moment for Coach Orr. And if you'd like to come on up here and share something with us.
I heard my name Mike, so. It was kind of different not being out with the guys this year, but I was trying to be involved as much as I could. But I think what was neat about being at Biola was that every year we'd have Hall of Fame and alumni. And I think we're like the only school that has that many people that care about the program and keep coming back year after year and keep telling their stories. And they're interesting every year to me. Most of it is because Coach has been here. And the stories aren't just about their teammates, but they're about Coach Orr and about how they tried to deal with him in the weight room or on the field or his intensity. But he gave us that opportunity here at Biola to not just grow as soccer players, but spiritually. And, you know, I have a teammate here tonight that I graduated with, and we are a product of being under your leadership. And just thankful for that. And for all you guys, I'm sorry for you freshmen only getting to experience 1 year. But there's, you know, hopefully someone else can fill that position or your other teammates and all being leadership in the community. But I just want to tell you how thankful I am, and for all the guys that I've seen come through, the generation after generation who've been here. You have Husey, who was here with you, and Schultz, who's a couple, years ahead of me. Ryan and myself and Phil and Matt and all the way down. I mean, we keep coming around because, we like Biola soccer because of what you made us.
I'm very glad you had this opportunity for me to do this. Things happen so quickly. You're here for 4 years. You're done playing. You graduate. You go. You get married. You have a kid. It's all over. As far as Biola, it's wonderful. I remember my first year here, and in the weight room, and that was like my first real college experience. And so that's kind of when I got to see Coach Orr as, I don't know what you want to call it, that's the worst or whatever. But and I remember him, yelling or saying, when it hurts, don't give up. That's your, that's your growing period. That's the time, when you are gonna, make that mental decision. You're gonna go down or you're gonna go up, and because there's no flat ground. And I just want to let you know, Coach, that that you've given me such a great sense of spiritual discipline, I guess is the right word. And because it doesn't necessarily get a whole lot easier after Biola. You face life, when it's really real. Some of these seniors will find out, when you get married or when you're on your own, that life is difficult. And there's times when you stare life right in the eyes and you can say, am I going to give up or am I going to go higher? And I just appreciate Coach Orr so much because you just instilled in me in the 4 years that when I stare life in the face and I've got that decision, man, am I gonna do this the right way or am I just gonna take the easy road out? And I always come back to those Biola days where you say, you know what? I'm gonna have discipline and I'm gonna do it the right way. And like Mike was saying, you freshmen, I feel you should be grateful because you've had a year under Coach Orr. But I do feel bad because you're going to be missing out as far as what I've experienced. And I know Matt and Schultz can say the same, some similar things with me. But you've been such a blessing in my life, and I just appreciate you so much.
Emotional up here, but one of the benefits of working at Biola is working with great people. You're right at the top of it. And Some of the best times of being able to watch Matt work is when he's at his most intense moments, usually at halftime, before a game, after a game, something like that. And he puts out little bits of wisdom to his guys that you can take with you in everyday life. And my favorite coach, who I think is family man. And, I know with my daughter, I just try to live up to that. And, it's awesome. I remember been here 12 or 13 years, and one of those early halftime talks, I think it was after loss, and don't remember where, but I remember you saying something along the lines that if we keep our eyes focused on Christ, the team, the soccer team, works as a family unit. They're all focused on the same goal. You're going to reach the prize. And, I just want to thank you for the years with that together. Want to many more.
I just want to start off thanking Coach Shore for giving me the opportunity to come to Biola. Not many coaches will give me the opportunity as I speak in high school. Just all I thought about was soccer. I did well in school, high school grades, I did everything good. And I wasn't that bad of a person, but all I thought about was soccer, soccer this, soccer that. And it wasn't until I came to Biola because I feel like the Lord used Coach Shore at the media to bring me here to Biola to pull me to the actual meaning of life and the purpose. And when I first came to Biola, I wasn't a Christian. Actually, I was a non-believer. I didn't believe in anything. I just knew there was a God, but that was it. I'd never read the Bible in my life. So first, once again, when I start this talk by thanking Coach Shore for giving me the opportunity to come to Biola and make a better person of myself. And as I look back, like these 2 years of playing for you, I didn't like you. I was a tough coach, and all the coaches I liked because they were easy on me, they were lenient, flexible. Coach Joe got in my face. Coaches always get on my face about anything, everything, because he wanted me to be a better person, to be a better soccer player. But more than soccer, once again, he wanted me to be a better person. If I had a problem, I spoke to him. When I first came to Biola, I had a huge breakup, and I didn't know who to talk to, so I spoke to Coach Shore, and he just pulled me to the side. It was after practice. I told him if he had a minute. He said, sure. We sat down, and I told him my problem. And Coach is all like, well, I don't know what to do. Just pray. I'm all like, good answer, Coach. I mean, I need your help. I've never practiced praying in my life. I never actually thought about how important his advice was. And so I just walked away from Coach Shore, and I'm all like, I think I came to the wrong person to talk to. But it just stayed in my head, just pray, just pray. That's the only thing that Coach told me, just pray and ask the Lord for his will to work upon me. So I did it. And it was a life-changing event. It put prayer in my life. And now I got to witness like the power of prayer, who God really is. And now that I started coaching too, since last year, my own high school, fourth in high school, and I put all the time in. It's so much that sometimes you don't know what to do. You just take so much of the time in, and it's like a humbling thing to do. And I appreciate every little thing that you did, every little talk that you had with me and the rest of the team. It's so inspiring, because that's what I want to do with my life. I'm maybe not here, but I would love to be the next Coach Shore. Maybe not here at Biola, but at some other school. And if the Lord brings me here, then his will be done. But one of my goals is to be the next Coach Shore, some guy. Because I don't think like I'm ready. I'm just my second year coaching, and most of the guys, and since we all hold like Christ as a huge person in our lives, and we like share to like people about him. We like share who he is, about his love. And I do that too, but I also share Coach Orr. Many people don't know what you look like, who you are, but they know like who Coach Orr is. When I make them do the high knees, the tennis squat, all these sprints, and they start whining and and they tell me like, where do you come up with these dumb drills, Coach? Coach Orr. Our oldest style practice. And I can see how my boys are changing a lot too. And that's, you maybe want to be that person, how you make an impact in our lives. That's what I want to do in my life. I want to impact a lot of people in my life. But it all started with you. You changed my life with the opportunity. I was just trying to be a disciple of Christ, and not just a coach to suit your own selfish goals and selfish desires, but you try to help us fulfill all of our goals and all of our desires here in school, and academically and in athletics also. And I'm really grateful for that. And one of the things that I remembered, one of the stories, we were in like the weight room, and each time we'd be tired, we'd go to I think 2 or 3 circuits. First one is okay, second one we start struggling. Third one we don't want to do anything. We just want to look at Coach Orr, hope he's not looking, he's standing. Coach started going harder. Or just yell so Coach will feel like we're doing something. But, one of the things that he said, each and every single time Coach spoke to us, he spoke about God's love and what he did for us. Every single time, and it always brought a smile to my face too. If I was tired or not, or if the whole team was tired, it still brought a smile to my face. Just when he related soccer and life to God, to his love, every single time. And when we were in pain, he'd say, like, why should you guys stop? When Christ put himself on the cross by his own will, he didn't have to be in the cross, but he still did. And he had put himself on that cross for us, for his love. And he punished himself. So why can't we do the same for him when we're in pain, when, with the circus, we're out there struggling to get the bar up. And that's when it's all mental then. It's all about our love that we have for him. We have to thank him back for all he did for us. And yet we can never do it. But we can try to do it with our actions in the weight room when we're struggling. I love Jesus and just pick it up. And Coach George taught me that, to put myself to pain, and to show love that we have for Christ, the way he died for us. And it's just amazing. You're more than a blessing and an inspiration that I just cannot. And I can just stay out there talking forever, but you guys probably want to say something. But I do want to thank you, and I hope that we can still get in touch sometime and we can maybe give me some great advice. But I truly want to thank you, Coach. You're just an amazing person, and I hopefully someday would want to be next to Coach. Thanks.
We'll keep the mic open in just a couple more minutes. And frankly, this is open to you parents too. And if you parents never had the opportunity or privilege of being in a halftime huddle or a post-practice talk, you just listen to Coach Orange. Where does this guy come up with this stuff? It's incredible, but it is lifelong impact. You can remember those talks. But we'll get a couple more minutes here. It's 9:07. We've got about 3 minutes. If anyone else would like to share, come on up and go for it. Let's keep it short. And then we have one short letter to read and presentation to make.
Did keep it short because the last time in Japan I talked for about 30 minutes. Forget about that. No, I just want to share something how Coach is, Coach, he taught me so much since I've been here. Growing up, all the way through high school, everything came easy to me, like sports, school, and everything. And when I got to college, soccer didn't come easy anymore. I think the first day, I was the first one puking. And then the second day, I was the first one puking again. And then I think a couple other times, second semester, first day I was puking again. And I think ever since I've been here, added all together, I think I puked more than everyone here in the whole room. But ever since I got here, Coach Orr has just pushed me to another level. And he's taught me that I'm not going to reach that goal unless I suffer for it, just like Jesus said, just like Christ did, you know. And this year was my third year playing for Coach, and the last 2 years I can say that he's prepared me so much for life, because this year I've been a lot on my own. My parents haven't supported me hardly at all. I've been working throughout the semester through soccer season. I was working. I was up at 6 a.m. on Saturday mornings working before our soccer games, doing my job here for school, and now I'm coaching a soccer team too. And I think this semester's brought so many trials to me that has pushed me to another level. And I don't think I would have been able to do it without Coach Orr teaching me in the last 2 years that when it gets hard, you just push yourself and you prepare yourself and you step to the next level. And I think that Coach Orr has taught me how to be a man since I've been here, because I realize this year is going to be easy compared to when I have a family and kids. And I'm always going to remember back to the times when I was in the weight room and Coach Orr was pushing us at 7 in the morning. And I'm puking, and then Coach Orr says, end line, you know? So, Coach, I just thank you so much, because the things you taught me on the soccer field are things that I'm going to carry out through life, and things that I'm going to carry out for the rest of my life. And I hope that the rest of you guys carry the same thing. Thanks a lot, Coach.
I remember the first day I came in and I sat down in the G7 and I sat there and I was still unsure if this was the right school. You never know until you get way into it. And we sat down and we're talking, we're going to do this 5-mile run, and Coach starts his preseason talk, and then we prayed. And when we started to pray, I knew that I was in the right spot. God had brought me to the right spot, and this is where I was supposed to be for the next 4 years. And I'm just very grateful to Coach for doing that. And more than the discipline aspect that you bring, not you guys talk about, is you brought a new love for soccer team, and I enjoyed the sport. And you know, you're used to winning, like Jamie said, you're coming very successful, and you're playing in college because you've been successful in high school. And so to come and you know have a 10-10 season first year, it's like, whoa, wait a second, what's going on? It's not fun anymore. You know, we're supposed to win. And Coach brought this new aspect that I can glorify God and I can worship as I play, and so much more. And so it helped me keep going and look past the win into my effort on the field. And I could, you know, the season, as it wasn't as great as we wanted it to be, it was definitely a success because I put forth all my effort, and it was an act of worship for me. And so Coach really taught me that. I'm very grateful for that.
Got a 3-point sermon outline, but I only said 2. I was just sitting there thinking of the verse came to my mind. The first one is, the Lord disciplines those he loves. And I think Coach Orr knows that. And as our leader, he disciplined us. And I realized that the first time we lost to Fresno. After the game, he took us to the baseball field and showed us how much more we had inside of us. I remember that. You know, and you realize that he takes you through this, and he takes you through 4 years of soccer to discipline you, and to show you that. You know, I was the type of person that I would like to give more than I had. You know, I deserve it. You know, and learn to deserve it, because you never know if there'd be more. The coach or at the end of the practice or not. But finally understanding what total release is. You know, don't save anything. You know, you should be crawling off that field. And the same goes in life. You know, don't save anything. Don't reserve anything. If you have something in you, you know, give it your all. You know, and endure, and persevere. And that's the verse that I thought of that just reminds me of Coach Orr. Consider it true joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And it goes on to, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all, without finding fault, and it will be given to him. And I know Coach Orr is one who's who speaks God regularly, and he speaks God's wisdom in everything, and he taught me that, and I think he taught you guys that as well. And it's about perseverance, and it's about enduring, and he protected us, and I never realized a lot of the struggles he faced with the athletic department, and just being kind of on staff, he kind of shared with me a lot more, all those things. Just the extra effort he goes in enduring and persevering just to create this atmosphere for us as Biola soccer. And it's been a special time, and for me, I learned what discipline is, I learned what perseverance is, and total release. I think it's something I'll take with me the rest of my life, with my family, and in our ministry with MAI. Thank you for that.
Last year, as the season came to an end, it was kind of sad that everything was finished, but it was awesome to be able to be part of recruiting. A lot of you guys are here. It was fun to be on the phone with you guys and be part of that and go to Japan with you guys. But just what I remember most is just coming when I was checking out schools was I was hitting SCC and Biola in the same visit. So first I was at SCC watching their game, and it just happened that I sat next to the coach's wife, McLeish's wife, and the whole game she was just sitting right by us, and she was just annoying and loud, and we just happened to meet her, and it was just a shock that there was this lady. And so after the game, we went down and talked to the coach, and I mean, his attitude, and it was just a shock. He's like, yeah, hi, how you doing? Okay, yeah, please come. This would be great to have you, and stuff. And it was just a shock, and the whole time, both of them just talked about their son the whole time, and it was just amazing. And then so the next day we caught Biola's game, and it was by coincidence we were sitting in the stands, and we sat right by Pat. And just by chance, then we started talking with her, and it was just a complete change. And then after the game, to talk with Coach, and I mean, just a total change in talking with their personalities. And you know, first question off the bat, what you ask the players is, you know, are you a Christian? Do you believe in the Lord? And I mean, it was just complete difference. And I don't know, and it was just amazing to sit by Pat and to see, because I mean, to know that the wife that he goes home to is, you know, a big part of who the man is that's gonna be coaching me the next 4 years, and who my parents are gonna entrust me with for the next 4 years of my life. So that meant a lot. And doing a lot of the recruiting, I mean, I think that's why I enjoy it so much, is that I get to share how much Biola is different compared to these other schools. And it's hard to tell these parents, but I try to tell them, I'm not trying to put down these other schools, but there really is a different aspect to it. And I don't know, as Mike knows from Azusa, I mean, it is different, and it's hard to explain to people and tell them how special it is here. And it's been great to be under your leadership these last couple of years, and great to be with you. So good luck with it.
Well, Sarah in this room stays in this room, right? Is that your recruiting spiel, Ben?
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but then he said Azusa, and so I kind of thought I needed to come up here, because sometimes, you know, it's really easy to live your Christian life when things are going your way in front of other Christians, and you know, you can just go along and say things are great, praise God, everything is wonderful. But then, you know, when something doesn't go your way, it's kind of where the rubber meets the road. And I think one of the things that when we got the letter about sending memorabilia, I looked real hard for this note that we received from Coach Orr, but Mike, his freshman year, decided to go to another school, and Coach Orr called, and you know, he had to tell him that, and I'm sure that it didn't make him the happiest person in the world. But a couple of days later, in the mail, Mike received a personal letter from Coach, thanking him for, you know, the recruiting process and wishing him well where God had called him. And to me, you know, that's where your Christian life is. You know, is when things aren't going just exactly the way you want them to go. Are you going to walk with God? Is your testimony going to show? And that's, you know, one of the things that we learned from being involved with Coach Orr. And then, you know, to be able to come to Biola and be under his ministry, it's just made that all the more true. So I just thank you. You know, sometimes you have a ministry with people that you don't even know. And I just wanted to share that because I thought that it was a really important thing that you did that nobody would ever know about. So thank you very much.
I think from a parent's perspective, if you love your child as much as I love Jamie and Rose, I can tell you when you put especially for the freshmen, when you put your faith and your trust in somebody like these two lovely people here, you know that God is alive and working in your life. I've been raised in a Christian home all my life. One of the real beauties that God gave me was the gift of discernment. And from the first time that Matt and I met, it was quite clear where Jay was going to go to school. I didn't know how. We didn't plan on it. We didn't recruit a lot. We didn't do a lot of other things. Jay did leave school, went back to Fresno State, and one of the real blessings in our life was him recognizing that when he called the coach to come back, of course the coach was more than willing and happy to have him come back. Didn't go through a big ordeal with him. But one thing I asked Jay when he conveyed his choice of coming back to Biola was the fact that for those of you who he's had the pleasure of playing with, he said, "Dad, it is so different. It is such a different atmosphere that everybody pulls for everybody, not one against the other, so you truly play as a team." And I think that speaks so well of Matt. Coming out of a winning program, it's been a difficult 4 years for this dad. We make a lot of trips to LA, but we make trips because God taught me a long time ago, commitment's 110%. I can't expect any more out of Matt and Jay than I can out of putting it out for myself. One of Matt's greatest attributes, and I know he knows this like myself, and that is the partner that God has put in his life. Tremendous, tremendous, tremendous from the time that Jay stepped on the campus with some illnesses. Yeah, Matt was there, but we know that Pat was the real strong arm and assistance and the mom away from home. So the toughest challenge in the world is raising children. The greatest challenge, not that it's hard or it's difficult, it is, but the greatest challenge is introducing them and showing them a Christian way of life. And I can say this without reserve, that one person that God chose to continue my rearing of my son was Matt and Pat Orr, and I'm thankful for that tonight. Thank you.
Well, let's do this. I'm sure some of the rest of you have some things you want to say, and you know, it's like when the preacher's going well, you don't stop the message. And man, I'm sure there's some things you will enjoy reading through the booklet, but I'd like to read for you a letter here and make a short presentation. And this is to Matt and Pat Orr, and I think it's been very obvious with everyone sharing that Pat, you are as involved in this as Matt. And on behalf of the Biola University soccer community, I have the privilege of thanking you for your commitment to so many of us for the past 14 years at soccer, and 17 of wrestling, of course, coaching at Biola. We recognize this commitment was made possible by a support system behind the scenes. Yeah, that's Pat. We also have all had the privilege of being in the Orr family home on various occasions. God has been gracious to us to see a couple still in love after knowing how much was sacrificed on the home front. Coaching is a tough job. Thanks for sharing your family with us. And all your boys and girls, we know what you've given up sometimes. We have a gift here that is brought to you by the year 2000 men's soccer team, their parents, alumni, the athletic staff, some of your coaches, and many who are the beneficiaries of your commitment to God's purpose through the game that we love. As you know, as we know, you love to putz around the home during downtimes. Always fun to go in and watch a painting or fixing brakes or something. And as we know that God has spared your lovely bride this past year, we want to help you smell the roses after over 30 years of coaching Biola University teams. We have collected $1,300, which can only be used to pay the Travels Unlimited travel agency for a cruise of your choice. Your job is to meet with Gina Ladner, the travel agent, and select the date and destination for this cruise. There may be additional monies that continue to come in over the next few days, and that will be given to you as a cash gift to be used for wining and dining your special lady. Please, please accept this gift as a token of our appreciation for so many years of service to our Lord and through serving each of us. Blessings, your soccer family. And there's a copy of that letter in here, and in here also is Alpha San Lucas and the travel guide that you guys will need to look through. And Mrs. Gizzy, Vicki will be taking care of the financial end of things as soon as you make a decision. So, yeah. I'm going to ask Brad and just to come up and pray and close our evening, but before we do that, wouldn't that be fitting, Brad? I would ask that Brad pray for Matt and Pat, and then also pray for the new coach that God brings to Biola, because there's an incredible legacy that needs to go on, and we all know the issues of importance. But Matt and Pat, if you'd like to say a few things, and then we'll have Brad close the night in prayer.
Well, it's great to be here tonight. Thank you so much for all of your friendship and your support. Most of all, it's just good to be alive, to be part of this. And I just love all you guys. I'm going to miss you, but I don't think we're going away. We'll be around to see you. Thank you.
Do you know how many times that I screwed up and just done, my thoughts are not God's thoughts, and just done wrong, and you know, this coach, this soccer coach here that you talk about was, he's a duck out of water. I've never felt like a soccer coach. I mean, I was a wrestling coach. I was a good wrestling coach. And you know, God had another plan for me, and I was fortunate enough that I had the support of my family, that I was willing to say, yes, Lord. But I can just think back. I think about all the times I made a mistake. You know, in 1981, I cost the kid a national championship. I mean, he was in the finals, and he had ripped his rib cage out, and he hadn't wrestled for 3 weeks going into the national finals, and he just dummied his moves, and he made it all the way to the finals, and he didn't want to take his rib cage. He wanted to win so bad, and I let him talk me out of it, and he didn't take. And I mean, boy, he's up seven points going into the second period, and he ripped his rib cage, and he had a default. He defaulted a freshman that went on and won the national championship 4 times, one of the second 4-time national championships. So from Oklahoma, the boy was from. But you know, soccer and sport is wrestling. It's a love-hate affair. I mean, you know, it's success and failure. But when I came into soccer, I knew that God had called me here. I knew that that's where the Lord wanted me, and I just said, Lord, you know, you've got to be the head coach. You know, I'm the coach of the boys, and you've got to do it for them. You know, you got to protect them. So Zeke, when there is no answer, that was the head coach. I'm just talking inside, Lord,
gotta find an answer for this boy. And I knew if he went to the head coach and talked to the head coach, that the right wisdom would come in those situations in that. But, you know, the Lord provides. He provides Paul Gizzy and Eric Schultz and all their different gifts. He provides the Brad Davies and the Bob Thomases and guys that came in. And when you think of the ministry and the change and the impact on it, it was a chapel at the right time. J.P. Moreland's chapel on Friday was phenomenal. And the wisdom that came out of that chapel. And I felt, I'm so inadequate as a leader on the field compared to the wisdom that was coming out of that chapel. And life-changing joy can come out of that experience. And it just seems like the Toy Conference came at the right time, where the Paul Gizzy stepped up at the right time, or the Brad Davies. And so, you know, when we talk about who's the next guy, and the fear and the trembling, that there is a God, and he's in control, and he has a plan, and there is a man there for you. And if he is not the right head coach, the head coach is behind him. And he's your coach. And he's your father, and he'll take care of you, and he'll bless you. All we have to do is step up to the plate in the bottom line and have the courage to fail. And that's what we got to do, guys, and be faithful and trust the Lord for where he brings into us. I'm excited about Biola soccer. I do. I've told the guys and parents that I really think we're on an up. I think sport tends to go up and down, and I think Biola's ready to put more money into athletics because of increased enrollment and getting the women's programs equalized. And I respect Biola's overall leadership and their overall commitment to education. And athletics isn't number one budget line at Biola, but that's caused us to maybe work harder and to have the right kind of people here and to achieve the things that maybe are important. And we can continue to do that. And if you men have that vision and realize that God is in control and that he's the center of your life, then great things can happen. You might not feel adequate, and you might not make the right decisions, but God will put the Paul Gizzies there, and he'll put the Eric Schultzes and the Matt Moses in your life. He'll put the right chapel at the right time, and the right partner in your life to help you make it through. And I thank you so much. You've contributed. I feel like everybody's cheated. I feel like I'm the one that was been blessed through this process, and that's the hard part of quitting too. But at the same time, God, the timing's right. If you ask me one reason, the timing's right. Because I just feel that God, that this is right, and I need to do this. And I just thank you for being a part of this really important year of my life and changing my life. And I trust God for the future, and I thank God for so much in this family here. Watch out, Brian, I got 5. I think he left out. Thanks so much, Paul, and the gift is really cherished, and it's good because I don't think we've had too many vacations lately because we've chosen to.
Yep, I think of that.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks so much. You parents, we haven't said much tonight, but parents is probably one of the reasons that Biola's have the kind of emphasis or the kind of results that you hear tonight. We just really have parents that were a part of the program when it was time and stepping back when it was time too. That's probably the hardest part, is to trust. Maybe even when it's a wrong decision, to trust that God would do this, and to trust the man that God's put in your child's life. That's hard to do. I just think that we've had those kind of parents in our program going back, and I can think of key parents all the way through, and they impacted the team as a whole. And it just seems that God's not allowed all the boys to have their parents here, but the right ones always seem to be here, and they seem to minister and have been a part of it. So I thank all of the parents and all the ones that aren't here over the years who have really made this program over here and trusted God's hand will continue to be. Thank you very much for the time.
Let's stand and close. God, tonight we rejoice in your sovereignty, and that from the beginning of time that you plan all of our paths from you to tonight, that we come in contact with Coach Orr and his family, and that we would all be blessed by your strength. Thank you for humble servants, God, that want your will to be done, and we ask that your will will continue to be done as you take Coach Orr and his family different places, and pray that you would continue, that they would continue to have an impact on those around us, God. I pray that the impact that Coach has had on us, that we would give that to others, that we would not hold it to ourselves, God, that we would bless others with what we've been doing. It's all from you, and we rejoice in that. We pray for the man that you bring into the position next, and that your blessings be upon him, that you would be a man of character, and that above all, he wants to glorify you through this program and through what he can do here at Biola. So we thank you tonight for all that was said and for this season, and that we would go out in your name, amen.
Couple of reminders, Coach Orr, who do they see if they want a video? Okay, lay 5 down here. Also, guys, don't take off without your tour information, and have a great night.
change my clothes. Animal.
Yeah, you have a good time back tonight.
Oh, yes.
If you go,
I'm going.
you're going.
I'm going. Oh, there you are. You walked right in front of me. Oh, it's recording, too. Your big old head was right in it. And then